Good day, one. Good day, all. Today, I want to talk about Prime Market Terminal again because it's my favorite software. I purchased this about 3 or 4 months ago and it has completely transformed my trading. So today, I want to again persuade you as to why you need Prime Market Terminal. And what better way to do that than to highlight some of the earnings that we saw from a few banks. So just to add some context before I get into this video, the point of this video is just to highlight to you that we're in very volatile environment, and despite this, banks, JP Morgan, Bank of America, Goldman Sachs, Citigroups, they're making record profits in their trading decks. So they are making the most money they have ever made in trading in these volatile environments where a lot of retail traders are losing. And if you're curious, like you're saying to yourself, what are these guys doing? How are they making so much money when the markets are so volatile and uncertain? Well, this software right here, Prime Market Terminal, it literally, not figuratively, it literally banks, Goldman Sachs, JP Morgan, Citibank, Morgan Stanley. It's literally research from them telling you exactly what they're doing. It's report telling you how they're positioning, what they're looking for, how they're managing their risk. It tells you everything. So if you want to be on the right side of the markets, like these banks who are making record-breaking profits during volatile environments, then you should continue watching this video. So this is Citigroup's earning here, and you can see that fixed income revenue was up 8%, profit boosted by volatile markets and client activity. And if you look at the headlines here, it says Citigroup profit beats estimate as stock trading jumps 23%. So in these volatile environments, banks like Citigroup are making record amount of profits. Now let's look at JP Morgan. Trading revenue from JP Morgan, as you can read right here, climbs 21%. JP Morgan topped first quarter profit estimates on record equities trading, right? So in volatile environments, JP Morgan is making record breaking profits. Let's look at Bank of America. The bank said equities trading revenue rose 17% to 2.2 billion, which slightly topped the 2.1 billion estimate. And also fixed income revenue jumped. So we're seeing Citigroup, JP Morgan, and Bank of America. They're all making a lot of money trading right now in this volatile environment. And you as a trader, you might ask yourself, what are they doing? How do they do this? Where do they get these knowledge and insight from? What do they know that we don't? Well, if you're a user of Prime Market Terminal, you know exactly how they do this. You get all of the insights right here in the bank research section. So in the bank research section, this is basically PDF documents that banks send to. They usually send it to clients. Now, if you have a Prime Market Terminal subscription, you can literally see everything that these guys are doing to make record-breaking profits, right? And again, you do this in the bank research section. So you can see a bunch of different PDF documents here. So we have banks like MUFG, we have Goldman Sachs, we have Bank of America, we have JP Morgan, Deutsche Bank, Citi. So we have all of these banks, and these are daily research, weekly research, and all of that stuff that they send to investor clients. These are not publicly available on the internet. You have to pay for these to get access to this. And the other alternative to Prime Market Terminal is a Bloomberg terminal, which the cost for that is about $26,000 a year. So if you have $26,000, you can get the Bloomberg subscription. But if not, Prime Market Terminal is the best alternative. And retail traders they do not have access to this. You might come on the internet and you see someone title a video, how to trade like banks, and then it's just drawing a few support and resistance lines and saying that, oh, banks are buying here. But with this, you are literally trading like the banks. No, that's enough talking. I just wanted to give just that introduction there so you understand what we're looking at here. So on Prime Market Terminal, you can save different research. So you can say, let's say I want to read this Central Banks Watch by UniCredit. You can click this and you can save the research here, and then you can go to your saved files and you can see everything that you save. So I have a few banks that I just read from. So I like to read from Bank of America, JP Morgan, Citi, and Goldman Sachs. And Deutsche Bank, they also have something called investor positioning and flows, which I also like to read. So these are usually the 4 or 5 banks that I read from and I trade alongside. Right, so you can see that we have a bunch of different things. These are actually research that I need to read. For instance, something that I like to look at is Delta One flows and positioning. And if you don't know what this is, which you probably don't if you've never read a bank research, flows and positioning, this is a weekly release by JP Morgan, which covers how big money, people who actually move the markets, how they are positioning. So you have the COT data from the CFTC, which shows asset managers, non-commercials, and so forth. Well, this by JP Morgan is like that, but on steroids. So if you think the COT report that you get on Friday actually gave you insights into positioning, this right here tells you every single thing that you need to know about positioning, and so you can position like how big players in the markets are positioning. So this is a very long PDF. What I like to do is I like to read the highlights, which they basically summarize everything that you really need to know in the highlights. So they show you futures flows, CTAs, the CFD positioning, and this is the COT data. They show you ETF flows. So everything that you need to know about positioning is right here, and this can help you with staying on the side of the market that people with billions of dollars are also on, right? So I like to read the weekly highlights, and then you have the tables. So let me zoom in a bit more here. So you can see the S&P 500 here. So based on their quantitative model, so this table, it takes I think they have an appendix at the end of this where you can learn how to read this, or you can just go to ChatGPT and ask how to read this and it will explain it to you. So you have the different categories here. So you have the S&P 500, but the main important thing is probably the CTA signal, which says short, right? But you can look at things like non-commercial, you can look at asset managers and hedge funds, see how they are positioning, open interest change, open interest correlation, and all of that stuff. There is a bit of learning curve to actually understand it, but you can probably learn how to read this table in like 1-2 hours. Like, that's a learning curve. And once you know how to read this every week, you get seriously insane amount of insights into how institutional money is positioning. And this is basically what this document right here. So Delta One flows and positioning by JP Morgan is released weekly, and you can really just get some serious insights from this, and again, these are not available for free on the internet. There's nowhere on the internet you will find this for free. This is actually for institutional and investor clients of JP Morgan. So that's Delta One flows and positioning. You have other positioning bank research as well. So here we have Bank of America. This one is titled Systematic Flow Monitor. So this again, it tells you where big money is and how big money is positioning. So I like to read this as well, and you can just go through here, look at the different graphs and so forth to see where institutional money and big money is positioning. So you can see here that you have the S&P 500, Nasdaq, you have gold, oil, and you have FX currencies. So you can look at these tables, analyze them, and see where institutional money is going and position like institutional money. We also have one by Deutsche Bank. This is investor positioning and flows, and it's the same thing again. The more you read, it's just the more insights, right? So if you read all of this and you see that everyone is putting their money into gold or the USR or something like that, then you know that that's how you need to position as well. So that's positioning and flows, one of my favorite things to read. Next, you have the daily update. So one of my favorite daily updates is G10 FX daily, and this is a trader from JP Morgan's trading desk, which you get update on their positions and everything daily. And this is for G10 FX currency. So for every currency, so you have the euro, GBP, JPY, Swiss franc, Australian dollar, New Zealand dollar, and Canadian dollar, and these two right here that I don't trade. So every single day they release this document right here where they tell you their positioning, what they're looking for, new positions that they may have opened, and all that stuff. So you are literally trading like a trader from JP Morgan, right? So this is another one of my favorites. Another one of my favorites is US Market Intelligence right here by JP Morgan again. So I really like to read these JP Morgan documents, and the reason is this right here. JP Morgan trading revenue climbs 21%. So these insights, these are not from trading gurus on the internet trying to sell you a course or a signal group. These are people who are managing billions of dollars. This is who you're getting insights from. So this is why I really like JP Morgan Insights. So this morning briefing, this is mostly for people who trade indices. So if you trade like the Nasdaq, the S&P, or the Dow, this right here is basically all you need, and it's updated daily. So you can see that April 14, and this was yesterday, so a new one probably will get released today. So this is US Market Intelligence morning briefing. So if you trade the Nasdaq, the Dow, the S&P, they give you overview. They tell you what they're looking for, positions, and so forth. So this right here is just amazing. You know, if I did not have the software and I was watching this video, this would be a no-brainer for me. This is actually why I purchased this software. I actually saw someone, I don't remember who I saw using this software, and I saw some bank research stuff, and that's what got me to purchase this software about 3 months ago, and I have never went back, and I will never go back. So that's another thing there, and I think you get the idea by now. So basically, you know, it's just research by banks who are managing billions of dollars. They are telling you what they're doing, what they're looking for in the market, how they are planning to position, and you also get insights from in-depth insights from institutional positioning and so forth. So that's basically what bank research is. This is my favorite feature on Prime Market Terminal. I use it every single day, and it's just a no-brainer, you know. So yeah, that's really what I wanted to say. Peace and trade safe.